Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mobs and Mindset, where we come to talk about growth, self awareness, self development, and everything that helps you grow as a person in your career, in your personal life, and all the good stuff. Don't forget what we do here. You grab a cup of something. I have my guests here in the studio. We all have something we're sipping on. So it's just for you to chill, sit down in your favorite corner in your house or wherever you are listening from and just enjoy the conversation. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments. Involve yourself in this conversation because it's usually not a one-sided thing like we always say. We're here to, share ideas, share thoughts, and discuss our journeys. I'm very excited about today's episode for so many reasons. One, for the guest we have, and secondly, remember guys, I told you we're having a co-host, and we have here today Lisa. We need to get like bells so that we can
Yes,
bring for
yes.
celebration. So yeah, meet Lisa, my delectable co-host. Will be hosting Moms and Mindsets together from now on. And it's
Oh,
interesting that our first episode is with an interesting guest. We'll get right into it, but let's have a brief intro. Lisa, can you greet our people?
hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Johead. It's a long story, and at some point we would get the chance to talk about this. Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
we were meant for each other, and we're mugging, and we're mindsetting. Let's just get right to it.
Woo!
Okay, guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about our guest. I'm excited today because I love to see when Black women do great stuff. And our guest is one of such people who, when you listen to her conversation, when you listen to her journey, you understand how much growth she's undergone through the years. And she's going to tell us exactly how she's done it through self-awareness. Not necessarily through self-awareness, but how self-awareness has, been part of her journey. So our guest is a business strategist. She's a product builder. And she's the founder of Amas Leads, right? She develops practical she develops practical AI tools, business frameworks, and digital systems that help founders move from like scattered ideas to what she will call clear decisions, right? So through her products like Wordable and What Hurts Sells, I really like that name, What Hurts Sells methodology. She's combined technology, communication, and a very good understanding of like people to solve business problems, if that makes sense. She also says she believes that, better thinking leads to better businesses. Our guest is no other person but Chiamaka Ebolwe.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you
Welcome,
so much
welcome,
for
You're
that
welcome.
welcome.
wonderful
You're
bio.
welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you
She's
so much.
all that. She's all that and more, but you'll hear all about it from herself as we get into it. But I'm particularly intrigued, Chiamaka. What made you decide to go into tech? Like, and why did you decide to start a tech firm?
Okay, so for me, I started from a place of noticing frustration. Like it wasn't just I woke up and I started designing this software and I tried to fit people in to that. I already noticed that this is becoming like a frequent question. I kept being asked, I do my marketing very well, but I don't get the kind of customers, aligned customers that are for me. And I got it once, I thought it was okay, it's for this company. But then with other companies, I was getting the same kind of questions and I had to really think about it. And if there's anything I know about tech, I know that it is better when you start with the problem and not the other way around. Don't just go designing something and thinking, okay, people will buy into it. I will convince people into it. I believe in product-led services so that when you experience this, you know that, okay, I actually have this problem and this was meant for me. So I started from a place of, I would say, it's part of where what hot cells came about. So I started from frustration and
Very interesting.
then, yeah.
Love it.
That's a whole. So what hurts sells? I mean, if it hurts you so much, why not just let people know about it? Which is quite interesting. But another thing again is what made you actually feel? What was the in thing that I know at the point where you felt that you were doing the world a favor, but you could have thought about, is this what building? Can I deal with it? Can I, you know, I
Yes.
mean, what was the drive? This was worth building.
Okay. So This is also where we talk about self-awareness. I think I've talked about this a lot. There's the passion side of it. There's the understanding myself part of it. There's the people part of it, like the others part of it. So I don't think that there was a point that I separated these things. Before I could be able to understand, I was self-aware. I had to notice it. I was quiet. I was silent. I thought about it before I could notice it. If I wasn't observant, if I wasn't thinking, I won't even have noticed that this is becoming like a pattern. It's becoming a recurring question. And there's something I like to say to business founders. I said, I don't think that you can really separate a business from the founder. And I think that most great businesses out there, they are great because the founders dug in. They started from the inside and came out. I don't know if this makes sense, but being it's more of being aware of yourself, what you're trying to do. And I'm beginning to notice also that some businesses or most businesses look like their founder, resemble the principles, the way of thinking, the lens through which they see the world. That's how the business idea or something like that goes or came across. So for me, really, self-awareness played a whole lot of role in what I'm doing and still plays because as I'm going, the more I go, I don't think self-awareness is an end. I think it's a journey. It continues. So for me, it goes, yes, it goes on and on. So it has played a lot of role for me and it's still playing, especially in the business, in my business journey. So I like the question you asked because there's no way I can really separate and say, okay, it's just passion. No, it's just passion. Or no, it's just because they kept asking questions. No, these things are interconnected for me. So that was it.
That makes sense. I think my next question to you was going to be about self-awareness, but you've kind of touched base on that. So Mike, I'll rephrase how I wanted to ask you to now, like, because we talk about self-awareness a lot, everybody talks about self-awareness now, but I feel like we may be missing something in the plot sometimes. So let me first ask you, what does self-awareness actually mean to you as a person, not the business part of you, like as a human being?
Bingo. So self-awareness, I would just use an analogy because I would also say something. Sometimes there are things you can't just use words to describe. So I'll just try to throw in an example. Yes. So what I would say is there are two diamonds, one that's just dug up from the ground and one that you've already cleaned and polished. So you're holding two in your hands. There's this one and there's that one. And people are looking at it. People will be more attracted to the one. It's not about the attraction, but people will be more attracted to the one that you cleaned and polished. It's the same diamond, but one has already been connected, one has already been polished and cleaned and is being presented. So that is self-awareness for me. From this, you can deduce the self-awareness thing.
Would always, sorry, my
Yeah,
darling.
go ahead, Lisa.
So would always go for, I mean, it's easier to just pick the clean one than actually just go for.
And
It's an analogy that our guests, they need to actually think through. And, you can put in the comment section, ask, what do you derive from that analogy? Because I feel like there are different meanings to that that we
Exactly.
need
It
to
could mean
still
so many things to
explore.
different people. That's true.
Yeah.
okay. That's actually true. For what I was trying to say here is we are diamonds, right? But self-awareness brings out the clean one. The shape, you begin to see the shape, the reflections, you see the way it's structured, everything. But without self-awareness, it's the one covered in dust. It's still diamond, and it's diamond. You're not seeing everything that you need to see. So it's covered in a way. So that is self-awareness.
Makes sense. So when we bring it back to like your business now, I know you said most times people's businesses look like themselves, which I quite agree with. So if we bring back what you've said now and how it helped your business, would you say that being self-aware has or is still consistently polishing you as a person, which then reflects in your brand and how you run your business?
Yes, to a very large extent, I would say that because I like to think of two things that you already know your purpose in life, you already know yourself, you already know your passion, and then you go into business. I think it's different, and I might be a bit wrong, but I think it's different from where you don't even know what's true about yourself, and you just pick up something that someone else is doing, and you copy it and you put it out there. in a way, I don't think that you match up to that person that you're copying or comparing yourself to. So if again going back to the question, I think it helps a lot, and it has helped me a lot because I know that I have an inner compass that guides me. I know where I'm going and what I actually want to do. And because this life is filled with distractions, it's easier when I already know, when I'm already self-aware. Now, I'm not saying I'm in any way perfect. No, there's no perfection to it. But every day you keep doing it, you keep striving. So in a lot of ways, I am much better being self-aware. And what's the opposite of not being self-aware? And the other one,
I guess it will be just
being
Confusion,
confused
confusion,
or
because
yeah,
we
just
keep because
browsing.
we keep talking about
confusion.
self-aware. What's the opposite? Like what's not self-aware? Maybe that would help people even understand it the more. So please, I'm even asking the people watching us, what's the opposite of not being self-aware?
I think like the analogy of finding yourself in a loud noise and trying to see where you act like a magnet.
Yeah,
Mm.
And you just have a lot of things going around in circles. Like you have different, should I attract this? Should I not attract
yeah,
this?
yeah,
Should I
yeah.
try this? Should I
And
not?
you
So
bend this
it's
way
like
and bend
a mist of confusion, like on
Being
the Big
chaos.
Bang
centered.
Theory, right? But
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Being centered. There's another bit to self-awareness too. It's not just, I think personally, I think it's beyond knowing yourself, knowing everything about you, your strengths and weaknesses. There's also the aspect of the experience people have of you.
Perceive. Yeah,
Yes, you can
that's
tell
correct.
yourself that I'm such a good person, but
Yes.
everybody around you says you're a
I
mean
like the way
person.
you said
I
you can tell
I love
yourself.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
I
you can
love
go
that.
about and be announcing, I
Yes.
never hurt anyone. I'm a
That's
great
so
person. I'm
nice.
kind. I'm nice. But people around there are like, no, you're quite a shitty person. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect that we don't talk about, but I guess it's conversation for another day.
Episode or two
Fun one.
on
I
the
agree.
whole lot of self-awareness. But yes, back to you, Chiamaka. Let's not deviate a lot. But then again, because self-awareness is something that we would keep speaking about, mugs and mindsets are great brands for that. And at some point, we would shed more light on it.
Okay.
Then going back, I would say, because I mean, everybody in businesses, we make notes of our goals, our needs and then our pluses, our negatives and stuff like that. What would you say has been your biggest, biggest mistake or setback as an entrepreneur?
Okay. When it comes to mistakes, there are ones that would be tiny. There are ones that are easily negligible. There are ones that are loud. And when it comes to the beginning, when I initially started, or before I even started, it would be indecision, of course. Actually, I had to take a course on indecision because I wanted to understand it. It would be second guessing. It would be knowing that this might be it. And at some point, you're doubting or you're thinking, or maybe I should have gone the other way. So, not starting early, not starting when I should, thinking, oh no, wait, procrastination. I wouldn't say procrastination, it was more of indecision. Should I start? Should I not? And then thinking, no, I think there are lots of people already in this niche and forgetting that I have something different to offer, that a lot of us can be in the same kind of business, but not doing the exact same or the same thing. So it was that for me, the loudest one was that guessing or second guessing myself or being indecisive, that decision friction there. Should I start? No, let me wait. Should I start? Should I not start? So it was that. And as it is, I worked on it and I'm still working on it because indecision cripples business, cripples opportunity. It cripples a lot of things. So that would be the first one and the main one. Yeah.
That makes sense. But I think I feel like I've heard something like this before, and if people have always said it, then it makes a lot of sense because most times we stay in doubting ourselves. Oh, all the indecision. Maybe it's not. I am dwelling right in the middle of this thing you just talked about. Maybe I need to take that course. Maybe you need to send me a link because I'm always like thinking, Lisa, you understand what we're
I
saying apart from myself. Oh my God.
never even knew there was a course on indecision.
Hmm. Honestly,
That's for a start, which is beautiful to
yeah.
know. that there is a
Yeah.
cost. You know,
Yeah. Chiamaka, would you believe that this mugs and mindset today, we've had conversations about this program in 2018.
we have full notes, we
We
had
had series of
sessions, we had
meetings.
meetings,
Wow. It never came to life.
but it just never came. We had different thoughts of, oh, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about
Mhm,
that. We had
mhm,
facades of this.
mhm,
We didn't have a name,
mhm. Yeah,
to be
yeah.
fair. We actually didn't have a name.
He never got
We
to that
probably
point.
we did get to that point, but we had everything put together. Yes, as we should get it. We should get the course.
Honestly, I think we need that course.
Attached
Yeah.
to both of it. Thank you, Chiamaka, for enlightening us on that.
That's so enlightening, honestly. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back to, wrap up the conversation. But if you're just joining in, what Chamaka has talked about is her biggest mistake as an entrepreneur. She said it would not starting early. Get that. That procrastination you're doing, please start today. And you don't have to be perfect to start. And she's talked about, how self-awareness has been meaningful to her journey, how understanding herself has been very instrumental to the brand. We'll be back shortly. Yeah, so welcome back. Amaka, still on what the nuggets you've been giving us about, self-awareness, your business, and as a tech startup. I feel like we've talked about your how. We've talked about like your processes in terms of, how you handle stuff as a person. But it would be great to really know what you do, the services you provide. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. So my services are quite specific, but that doesn't mean I cannot attend to a broader range. Like I offer digital marketing services. I say digital marketing because that's the word out there. Everybody would understand digital marketing, but it's beyond digital marketing. It's actually positioning in the digital space using AI, using technology, using the broader digital marketing. So I position service businesses in the digital space. We do websites, we do automation, we do social media management, and we do discovery by AI. And an in-depth into this is placing the business in a way that it's not just now that you're marketing and running ads, is that in the future when we go to selection, because the way digital marketing is moving now is there comes a point where someone will take up their phone and ask, or just take up their phone and go to um, search box and ask who is the best in so so and so. Who would you recommend? Already they are doing. You can even just talk to Alexa. I would need a gas engineer. I would need a plumber. Yes. So we are moving towards that now. So, and that is also where I am in the kind of digital marketing that I run for people. So that when they say who are the best or who is the best, you will be among it might be just one or two people that the AI would pick up, and that would be you. And yeah, I'm not saying that this is just it, but I'm giving a hint at what we do. So that's why I said I connect communication, AI, and technology in the services I provide out there. Now, I also run this business clarity section for new and aspiring business founders that want to, first of all, understand where they are so that before you're out there, you already know the kind of marketing that is best suited for your business. So you're not just out there, oh, I've already done the website, I'm already on the social media, but I'm not seeing anything coming. So that's why I said I use digital marketing broadly, but what I do is positioning. So that's it. You can if you want to access my services for the trades is through my website. I also I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. And then I have a website it would show after this or in the comment section. Then if you want a business clarity session for your a service business, an aspiring business owner, a startup, at what stage you are, we can have a 15 minutes clarity section so that we understand where you're going. As I said, you cannot separate the business from the business founder. So that is it.
Well, I like that. I like the business clarity session thing. Sounds like a full-on, like a holistic approach to solving your problem. And that's like a really great thing because I remember you said, or rather when I was introducing you, you did tell me that, you bring together scattered ideas. So that sounds like a great one. So, guys, we're going to put her handles on all platforms where you can reach out to her for her services on the show notes on this. Feel free to reach out, get that clarity today, and boss it in your various fields.
Chiamaka has filled us in. So, like my sweetheart said, run there, link, look for the links, get your ideas together. We all have ideas. We're all born with something. Try to create something. I mean, AI is there, so we don't get redundant. AI is pushing us gradually, and they're begging us to actually have these classes. Shamaka is here to help. So before we run off, one last question. If you were going to be speaking to an aspiring, upcoming tech person, I mean, we have a lot of our children growing up, our young adults. When you ask, a lot of them want to be tech, tech, tech. Oh, I mean, tech, tech. You now even have the tech bros and tech girls, what would be
Mhm.
an advice, one thing they can take home from here? Oh, Chiamaka has given us this, the business. What is that one advice?
When you asked, I was just thinking of a whole lot of where do I dive in from? Which part should I touch on? Normally, if it had come in a different angle, I would have said, do you already have an idea? Have you spoken to someone about it? Do you think it's just a thought, an exciting thought or an idea? And do you think you want to write it down and perhaps ruminate on it a bit, find some place, some time, stillness, silence, and think deeper about this idea? And then in another aspect, I was just like thinking, if you want to do something, you uh I'm really looking for a way to say this. Well, beginning and end of this is if you have been thinking of something for a long time or even have a thought, I would say just write it down and perhaps start from there. Usually the last time I was asked this question, I said, no need to procrastinate. Start, because there's no way you can tell until you start. At least you start somewhere, maybe by writing it down. So that's why I keep repeating, start, start, start. But then again, I want you to know that you have a lot of potential. Like, you are the light. There's so much light in you, and the world wants to see it, wants to witness it. So why hold it back? Why keep holding it back? Just express it with someone close to you. Try and experiment. Anything you can think about, whichever way works for you, just do it. Let me just borrow the word. Just do it.
Like
Do it.
Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
So, like she said, that touched
Love
me.
it.
There's a light in everyone,
It's
or there's
light.
a lot of us were searching for what is in you. So why not just do it? Bring it up. Let's see. That's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So
So lovely. Yeah, that's so lovely. So get over that fear. I mean, it's easy to say get over the fear, but that's what platforms like Mox and Mindsets is here for.
I really, yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about these fears and how you can, step by step overcome them. Talk about it in the comment section. Let us know how we can help. We can even book in sessions. There's so many ways we can help with that. But thank you very much, Amaka. It was so lovely having and hearing your thoughts
Thank you
on
for
your
having
business
me.
and
thank
yeah, and
you.
self-awareness. It's such a great thing for us to have people like you come on here and share their journey. Maybe you can come back, at some point and tell us more like detailed on how the struggles, your actual struggles, because we would love to hear. That's the whole idea of this space, talking about those struggles, because it's easy to talk about the wins.
I
Yeah,
said we'll
yeah.
think about a
Because it's
panel
easy to talk
session.
about the wins. Yeah. I got that. It's easy to talk about the wins, but then there's so many in betweens.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of journey that
Yeah.
leads up to that success, and it's what we want to talk about because that's what people struggle with, and that's what we want to present here. Like how the entire process of how these struggles, someone somewhere listening will relate to your struggles, and will see, be encouraged that if someone else did it,
I can do
I
it.
myself can do it as well. Yeah. So thank you very much. But before we let you off, there's a rapid question, something fun we do here. Don't overthink it. It's just a
Drum
rapid question.
roll.
Self-awareness is the difference between dash and dash. Yeah, drum rolls.
A filled mug and
Self-awareness.
an empty mug.
Amaka sent us on jot things down.
I don't know what I just
Oh,
said, but
I love it. Yeah. That's the whole idea. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just spin it out. So a filled mug and an empty mug. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Self-awareness is difference between the empty version of you and the filled version of you.
Perfect. You just
Well said.
summarized it.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
Well said.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Well said.
Lovely. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much for
Thank you so
having me. Thank
much.
you, Lisa. Thank you,
You're
Maureen.
welcome.
Thank you so
Chiamaka.
much.
Thank
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. Tell us about your business. If there's anything you would want us to talk about, let's hear it. If there's any, any pathway you're struggling with and you want us to discuss, let's hear it in the comments. Thank you and see you on the next episode. Bye.